Hey everyone, how's it going? Today's video is going to be some top tips. It's going to be 4 or 5 tips for free-to-play players or low spenders. I myself is sort of like a low spender but sort of medium spender. I spent a few hundred on this game just because I enjoy it, love it, and also want to create content for you guys. And that best way of doing that is spending a little bit of money, getting ahead of the curve, sort of so I can learn and sort of teach you a lot of the sort of things that I'm doing wrong, and then therefore you don't have to make those mistakes. The first tip I want to talk about is where I've made a massive mistake and I regret it hugely. Tip number 1 is dismantling respect items for tier 3 commanders. You'll get a lot of gold respect items when pulling your chests. Once a week, I imagine, you're going to get some kind of gold item. And what that's going to be, usually, or 50% of the time, will be a respect item for a tier 3 commander. Let's have a look at mine, for example. You'll see here, King of Men, I've got 4,000 respect. Well, I need another 5,000 before unlocking. King of the Dead, 3,500. Gandalf the White, 3,000 respect. Well, that's a bit silly, isn't it, really? Because I'm never going to unlock him by doing this. I'm going to have to spend around about $1,000, £1,000 to unlock these tier 3 commanders without pulling an invite. My recommendation, therefore, is to not cash in the respect items. Yes, you get some influence points, but wow, I'm going to get an extra 1% commander speed for my men commanders. Completely not worth it to get to the level of influence I have here. So instead, what you want to do is go into your items. You want to go to your respect items. Let's do it here with one of the Gimli pages. And you're going to dismantle. If you do that with a flawless item, you get 60 Matham vouchers. That's 60 vouchers. What that results in is that if I cashed in all of my tier 3 respect items that I've put onto commanders, which I regret, if I cash them in for Matham vouchers instead, it would mean I could buy about 140 to 150 tier 2 respect items. That would unlock a commander, so that's 14,000 respect. You need 3,000 to unlock a character, so that would unlock them and get them to respect 5. Never mind on all the times I've pulled their respect items anyway. I could get them to respect 5 and unlock them without getting an invite whatsoever. I made the mistake of not doing this. And yes, I've got quite a bit of respect on tier 2 commanders and stuff. But my god, if you're a free-to-play player or a low spender, cash in these until you actually pull one as an invite. Then you can build their items up. Try and get them to respect 3, respect 5. Because to be honest, their respect 1s are usually quite terrible. So yeah. Dismantle any tier 3s and save up and use them on here. You'll get your vouchers here. Here I can buy some Mallow and Leaf, for example. But yeah, use them in the Matham exchange. Is my advice, rather than using the tier 3 commanders, because it's not much use. Talking about commanders, this comes on to tip number 2, is focus on 2 or 3 commanders max. 2 commanders is all you need as a free to play or low spender. You don't need 5 level 50s walking into the fights. Chances are, even as a low spender, like a spender like myself, is I don't have the gear, like a high tier gear, to even kit more than 2 out. You'll see here my Gandalf has a few quite good gear. My Legolas has some decent gear. But after that, I'm pushing it. There's nothing left. There is nothing left. So I would honestly recommend just building out 2 commanders. Which ones do you build out? Well, build out the highest, the best commanders. Okay, there's loads of YouTube videos on tier lists of the best commanders. If you wanted me to just throw it out to you now, you're a new player, you're a free-to-play player, a low spender, and you're like, I don't know who to choose. Well, if you're tier 1, go build your Eowyn and go build your Dwalin. Simple as, get them to respect 5, they will kick ass. The end. Okay? Tier 2, get your Gandalf to respect 5. Okay? Your Legolas, your Gimli, your Theoden. They're the only 4 tier 2s that come to my mind. There's only 2 tier 1s that come to my mind. Have a look online. Look at commander guides of how to build these. Look at the best ones for you. But Eowyn, Dwalin, Legolas, Gimli, Gandalf, and Theoden should be your go-tos, really. The commanders you want to build out. And look at, like I said, look at the YouTube guides. Get some advice on them. Skill, like how to build them. Hopefully think about being sort of multi-dimensional as well. Like have several usage. Your Gandalf can do it good against sustain. It also has some burst to him as well to be able to take down really tanky units. He can also farm Dragon for free in Balrog. Well, therefore, Gandalf does loads of uses for you, and therefore you should build him up and focus on getting him to Respect 5. Invest yourself into him. Go into the Matham Exchange, get those Respect items, and bin off those tier 3s like I said before, and focus your effort into the best top commanders. Okay? Not much more I can say on that. Have a look online for YouTube videos, for tier lists. I've got one. If you want to check that out. But honestly, focus on a couple of commanders. And I tell you what, your Eowyn, your Theodens, your Gandalf, your Dwalins, they will make an impact and you'll kick ass with them. So spend your time on them. Tip 3 is it's a sort of freebie. So a free to play, but also sort of goes into the low spender point of view. My advice is to every day, and this might be an obvious one, is open your Matham chest. You get a free Matham chest every day. Okay, you know what else you get? You get a discounted one for 200 gems. When you're like, well, that's spending my gems though. As a free-to-play player, you don't want to be using your gems to anything else apart from your Mathams. Okay, there's no reason, apart from your apothecary, you might sometimes use, but you're not going to be spending all your gems on getting yourself back into the fight. It's no use. Let the whales do that. Your job is to have fun and do your part. I'm going to talk about fighting in a minute. So with your Mathams, my best advice on this is take your free one and take your discounted 200. And you know what? If you're a low spender or you're a free to play but you want to maybe spend some money and you don't know the best way of spending money, best thing to do is periodic benefits. You're digging for treasure, right? It's $1.99. $1.99 per week. Okay? That's about £8 per month. And it'll result in per season, you get about, what is it? You'll get 1 chest per day extra. Season 8, 56, about 50 to 60 extra chests if you buy this each week. And it costs about the same as a Monster energy drink. Okay, so do you know those energy drinks you got on your lunchtime? Cancel one of them. Go buy yourself digging for treasure. Okay, get your extra Matham per day. And you can thank me when you get your kick-ass item or your Theodens, your Gandalf invites. You can give me a shout out then and say, love you, Godlow. You're a kick-ass guy for telling me to buy this digging for treasure pack. The Craftsman contract is also awesome. Both of them result in chests, an extra chest being 25p each. 25p each as long as you're buying the discounted 200 gem chest each day and using the periodic benefits to buy those chests. That is my advice on that. Honestly, 25p per chest, what a bargain. And you know what? It's great fun. It doubles your loot you get for minimal spend. Okay? A WoW subscription pretty much is what you're going to be doing to get your extra loot. It's literally go save yourself a double cheeseburger. Don't just have one of them rather than 3. Come on. Have 2 of them rather than 3. Save that £2 and get yourself some gems. Tip number 4 is you're a free-to-play player. You're a low spender and recognise that. You cannot go fight the whales. Do not go fighting the whales. We've got, and I'll show you some of the fights going on right now, to be honest. We've got a fight versus Angmar right here. Right. A fight versus Angmar. And there's a person here. Let me read them out for you. Acello. There's Diddy. And there should be, in here, James, is it? If I'm saying it right. Jaims. And there's also a guy called Takeo. They're big whales. Okay. As a free-to-play player, don't fight them. Do not fight them. Don't go sending your armies in, especially your level 35 armies, sending into the level 50 whales and dying. It hurts me so much watching it. It honestly killed me. It hurts me on the inside. Like, I want to sacrifice my own armies to stop you doing that. I honestly would. So, as a free-to-play or low spender, don't fight whales is my number 4 tip. You can't spend your gems on Apothecary because you spend it on Mathams instead. You can't beat whales. So what you want to be doing, my biggest tip, is to follow strong fighters into fight. Okay? If, for example, we're having a fight on this crossing, we're going to organise something. And by the way, I'm organising this after, so I'll try and record it for my progress update. I will say we are going to fight in 30 minutes. I will organise everyone, get fellowship leaders to announce to all fellowships. We're going to plan to fight in 30 minutes. The first wave of people should be the spenders, the strongest commanders, the strongest army, the people with the tier 4s. They will then send everything in. If I'm a free-to-play or low spender, and I only have one commander at a high tier, then I will send that in about 30 seconds to 1 minute after. The reason for it is our biggest spenders will hit them hard, and if anything, what we'll do is we'll follow on the back of a draw. And as an example of that, if, for example, I hit here, this was a bad, that was one, that was a second attack. But if I go backwards, and I pull up an example here. So let's have a look at this. So my Gandalf comes in and has a fight against a Witch King here. The Witch King isn't full strength. This is a good example. Someone else has already fought this person. He's not full strength. I come in and I have a fight with him and kick his ass. Okay. Well, guess what? If a low spender came in first, he'd still probably die. Because this is a big fat Witch King. Okay. Big spender. And you know what? He wouldn't help. But if I attack first, a stronger commander, a stronger player, then you come in after, you've killed the Witch King here. You've done your job and done your part of that war. So you just need to recognise what you can and can't do. What you want to do whenever I fight somebody, the first thing I do is check their power. So 33,000 power, I know is really, really low compared to Diddy over here at 60, is it? 44. Okay, there's 44 there. We've got James at 49. So that says to me, right, okay, if I was a free-to-play, I'm going to send myself at this guy. 33k, send my armies on top of him to fight him. Who's protecting him? Azog, he's a powerful player. He might be defending him on guard, so maybe I don't. Darth, he's weak. I'm going to definitely search for him on the map. Black Shadow Wolf, sitting over here on his own. Well, I'm going to sneak around and take an attack at him. You need to be smart as a free-to-play player. You need to take those trades that pay off well. Okay? You need to be smart. Don't sacrifice everything. Follow people into the fight and recognise that you cannot beat whales. Avoid them. Tell you what, if they're attacking you, run away. Do you know what you've just done? You've done a great job because they've used 20 stamina to hit an empty tile. You've done your job by just being in that fight. Okay, gone a little bit there. Tip number 5 is to enjoy yourself, and therefore the best thing to do on that one is join an active fellowship. You get loads of resources, you get to join the fight, you get to organise yourself, like I said before in tip 4, organise yourself with those whales, the stronger players, to join in with the fight and have fun. Okay, you can organise yourself to know when they're going to attack, then you can organise yourself to follow that up and enjoy the fun and get stuck in. Hopefully those tips help. The biggest one for me is that first one about the respect tier 3 items. Dismantle them, get rid of them, spend it on tier 2s instead. I've been doing it for 1 week and I'm already loving life, and I feel like I've made so much progress on my tier 2 commanders because of it. So if you take anything away, take that one away today, and I shall see you next time. Catch you later.